Welcome to all of you on this journey that's coming close to an end as we start the Lent journey a few weeks ago. And every Sunday brings us closer. This Palm Sunday is a very special Sunday in a church calendar. And even in some tradition, they name this Sunday the Palm Sunday is a day of conversion. They remind people to, if you want to be convert to Christianity or proclaim their faith. So in my tradition, when I grow up, if a child is healthy enough, they will save the celebration of baptism into this Sunday. If they are worried about his life and death, then they will. But if the child is healthy enough, they will keep it until this is a special Sunday of the church calendar. This is the day where people will come and celebrate Christ as the Lord and the Redeemer. But we need to take a step back and try to understand that how all of this done 2,000 years ago. I didn't think that they did not put an order in California to get some palm leaves, right? At these days, they did not, this easily, they have access to the trees. They did not put an order to get a frozen palm or palm that's coming from somewhere. And I'm sure the palm looks different from the one we have here. Because the palm trees are everywhere in the Middle East. And this is actually one of the trees that's considered, there are a few trees that's looked at them as they are holy one. And one of them is palm trees and mustard seed. And the most famous one is the olive. So as we see that there is a connection between everything around, and as we see today people talking about caring for the environment, caring for the animals, caring for all of these things. And people say that when we speak about these things, we sound more modern. Christ did not care about animals or planets or anything. I say actually Christ cared about everything, but our short knowledge did not connect that. I did not think that Christianity will be less good religion if we did not honor everything around us. So this story about Christ and the disciples is about the donkey, and it's about the palm. It's about everything. Christ cares about everybody in the stories. Unfortunately, as a human being, we only care about the big characters, the one that speaks more, the one that's in the center of the focus of the camera. But Christ's business is say, I literally care about everything. I care about the visible and the invisible. I care about the big and the small. The one that's thinking that they're the center of the universe, and the one that's wondering even why I'm here, is anybody cares about who I am as a human being. So this message today, as we go back, was a spontaneous moment of celebration of Christ. Was a moment of honest way of the regular people, the people of power versus the power of people. The people who come because they are strong in the society, because they are having a military power or money power or family power, whatever you can name it, versus those who are left on the street, just sitting around, almost like acting like no jobs maybe, or they even lost the opportunity to go into the field to be hired as a farmer to earn some money. While they're sitting there, just maybe gossiping and weeping about what bad luck they had in this life. And then Christ is coming into the scene to remind them he's the one that's a few days ago resurrected Lazarus from death. As they were sitting there, just mocking themselves or everybody, just maybe saying bad things about how bad luck they had in this life. And as Christ is coming by these people, showing them that he's cared about Lazarus and also he cares about you. He make also big scenes where he resurrected somebody from death. But also he can be a funny guy who can enjoy a music. I can imagine this Hosanna thing with a music with no instrument, but they were actually chanting. That's showing you that Christ can join you for a meal and be happy with whatever you have. Christ can join me with your sense of humor that sometimes is hard for many people to understand it. But Christ can. Your dry, your irony way of joking about life, Christ can join you if you are on the top of society or even if you are not seen in the society. So Palm Sunday is one of these Sundays that remind us about moment of victory. A few moments where Christ is really celebrated as a king. The crowd has a different intention. They want him to be the Messiah that is riding on a horse, not a Messiah that's riding in a donkey. As somebody who grew and lived in the Middle East for a long time, a donkey is a word that's the most offensive. If somebody wants to insult you, they call you a donkey. A donkey is something that everybody can get. It's a poor animal that's left on the street. And only farmers have them because they have to use them because it's a cheap farming. If you are rich, you do not ride a donkey. You ride a horse. If you are rich, you do not look at this poor animal because this animal is famous of being lazy, hard to teach, stubborn, and you cannot but if you do not have money, you are left with this poor animal. That's your choice. You literally can have them on the street. As far as you can get baby donkey and get them into your home, feed them, raise them, hoping that they get older one day to take care of your farm, then you go with your luck. So this is an animal that's really underestimated on all levels. And today my sermon is not about this animal, but about the concept. Today the sermon is not about the donkey, but about the concept of things that's around us that people do not care and honor. Because the culture taught them is a horse is better than a donkey. But if you think deeply, who is your best friend? Who is affordable? He's literally free. You can get this poor animal free if you can raise them. Who is the one that sticks with the farmer? Who is the closest friend to the farmer? They walk slowly with you. They listen to you. They know the way. If you teach them the road from your home to the farm, even if they have nobody, they know actually to follow the road like GPS. They are not moving fast, but they are loyal. They are just really, they will not make you look higher because compared to the horse and to the one. But Christ is showing that difference between those who ride horses and those who ride donkeys. Those who has the power to show off. Those who has the power to show military might. All the time in the old days until even Middle Ages. Anytime you think about an army, you're not thinking about tanks and big jet fire, and not big like army materials. For a long time, there's thinking about the basic thing. You have a knight riding a horse. That's the basic foundation of any military, for government, for any system. So Christ is using that, is intentionally trying to say, yes, I want to be your king, but I want to be a different king. Yes, I want to rule your life, but not to make you a slave. Yes, I want you to be in the center of your life, but my way is different. And this is the collapse of two worlds, the Roman power and Christ's power. The Roman power show Pilate is coming with his soldiers running around, showing sword on one hand and strong holding on the horse with the other hand. And everybody sees them, gets quiet. Everybody sees them, gets scared. Everybody sees them try, if they can, they will hide and disappear. And if a tourist is coming to see that, they will say, what a wonderful country. Everything is quiet and peaceful. That's how things will appear on the surface. But if you really give these people the freedom not to be afraid and speak, they will say a lot of things. So if we want to claim Christ as being the Prince of Peace, as Christians today we need to be very careful. Politician has the right to do whatever they think is good for the country, or good to keep us safe, or to maintain peace. They have all the right. They can do whatever, and we can disagree with them. But as Christians talk about peace, we need to be very careful. If I am ruling a country, I would like everybody to be silent, to look nice, to speak when I want them to speak, and follow my orders. But Christ say, no, this is not what I want from my people. I know you are celebrating me because I resurrected somebody from death. I know now you will bow down and kiss my legs and my hand as a sign of appreciation. You are ready to be my slave. But do you know what Christ is doing? Christ is coming down from his donkey and holding the hands of those people who are willing to be a slave and say, you are not slave anymore. He's holding the hands and the heads that's touching the ground and just saying, stand up, my children. I came not to make you a slave because of what you saw from me, but I came here to free you. I want a peace that's coming from a loving place, not a peace that's coming from fear. There are people who will sit there and listen because simply they are in awe of something good from outside and from inside. Not every silence is a sign of peace. Not every order or organized society or government is a sign of true peace. This is the fake peace, and if you study history, actually, the Roman was very famous for maintaining peace. The Romans, before even Europe and America for a long time, they believed in diversity in religions. They had no problem. You can worship as many things. That's why they create what we call Pax Romana, which means the peace of Rome. What is that? You worship as much as you want. We have no problem. The problem became with Judaism and later with Christianity because we believe in one God. But as Romans, as this time, you believe everybody can create your God. Your God is in your pocket because you have a little icon of your God and you're carrying it with you. So in a society that believes in many religions, they had no problems with that. As far as everybody's worship freely, without somebody saying that my religion is better than your religion, or my religion is the one should rule and run the whole country. So the Romans were very peaceful and they were very good at that, making everybody worship freely. But they were very strong to show the sword. Anybody who will go out of these lines, here is the sword. But Christ is showing that he's riding a donkey that's walking slowly. He could easily be caught. He could easily be in trouble. And even if he wants an animal that take him out of troubles, unfortunately he will not be able to get out. If the crowd's the same crowd that's saying, Hosanna, Hosanna, is the same crowd that say, crucify him, Christ will have no chance to run away. But this is the metaphor of two ways of maintaining peace. And as Christians, we need to be very careful when we speak about peace. What kind of peace are we talking about? Are we talking about a cheap peace that keeps people say what we like to hear? We like about cheap, fake peace that makes people to do and say things that we like? Are we talking about peace that makes people really encouraged to defeat fear and open their mouth and speak their mind, even when they say something that may bother us? But at least you get the sincerity. At least you hear them as being honest. And as I always say, this is kind of like my own words. I say, always be afraid, not when people talks, but be afraid when people are silenced. Even when they say something that you do not like, but as people are still talking, takes energy and takes a belief that I disagree with you, but still I did not close all the doors, and that's why I am communicating my thoughts and feeling with you. The moment people will even not put the effort to talk anymore and shut that, this is a sign of really we're getting into a higher level of really being disconnected and disrespect. The same crowd that Christ invited him to shout out, Hosanna, Hosanna. You talking, you calling me, I am the Messiah. Yes, I am your Messiah. But I'm not the Messiah showing a sword. I'm Messiah just waving a branch of leaves. Branch that shows love, show greatness, show opportunity for things to grow, to die, and to live and struggle and come back into life. So as Christ is waving, this is not, my religion is not a weapon. My religion is a message that's inviting people. Be happy. Enjoy life. Try to find a way to connect with people. Listen to those and not only to yourself. And what a wonderful part when Christ will ask his disciples to go and bring this donkey. And Christ will say, the Lord needs it. And I say, what an amazing way. Like, you are the king. People are treating you as a king. So act as a king. Talk as a king. A king did not beg. That's what we learn. A king do what? Command. Order. And if you do not obey, you are in trouble. But even this kind of kindness and gentleness that as he celebrated as a king, as he is in the moment to do everything, he can ask for anything and people will do it. You can even make a big revolution against the government. People are in your back. They're shouting your names. They're saying all good things. But Christ did not use this victory to put these people and throw them under the bus. But actually told, even when you ask for something, ask them because I am in need. My mission will not be accomplished without these two disciples that I asked to go and bring this donkey. My mission will not be accomplished without the owner of this donkey that they trust that somebody will benefit from using this animal. So God is saying, in other words, that I have no hands, I have no feet, I have no eyes, but you are my people. That's why if God is not being seen today and not being felt in this world today, it's not only God's problem, it's actually our problem. Because we are not moving around to show that we are God's hand and we are truly God's feet that can reach out to people. So Christ's mission today for all of us to say that, my children, be careful not only when you are down, but be careful when you go through a victorious moment in your life. People think that our hardest thing in life, that when we are down and depressed and barely moving ourselves around, maybe actually we are protected because we are very vulnerable in a moment like this. But this is actually the more dangerous thing, that when you feel like you are walking on the clouds, when life smiles at you and give you whatever you like, what this could be, whatever that, everybody has different things. Just be careful. Because there's people who fall from the high clouds, maybe never recovered. This is a really a wonderful warning about victorious moment in your life. When God gives you something and meet the desire of your heart, what do you do with that? Do you destroy yourself? Do you destroy the moment? Do you walk on people's shoulders and you do not care? Or you actually put your shoulder next to their shoulders? When God gives you whatever he gives you, does it opens your eyes to understand people better? or to feel like you are better than them. When the Lord gives you a way to speed up and achieve many things in a good way and in the shortest way, is this to make you lonely and feel like a runner that's in the marathon that's so far, you achieve to be the first one, but nobody's behind you. Nobody is around you. Nobody is saying and checking on you and even celebrating the moment. So be careful, not only in the moment of defeat, but be careful of the moment of victory. Who will save you from all of that? The Lord. The Lord will guide you, save you, and show you his way. Happy Palm Sunday. Let us enjoy the peace of the Lord, the true peace that nobody else on earth can give us like the way he gives. Amen.